We continue now looking into the life of the late radio personality Bob Mabena, and I'm now joined by Professor Lucky Mathebula, advisory member of non-profit organization The Broad Pool of Ideas. Good to have you with us this afternoon, Prof. But before we go any further, tell us more about the Broad Pool of Ideas and how Bob was affiliated to this non-profit organization.
Thank you, and good afternoon or good day to your listeners. The BPI, which is the Broad Pool of Ideas, it's a foundation that has put in a group of professionals together. And these professionals meet on a platform where they are able to exchange ideas and they inform the discourse of what needs to be discussed about in the country. It was formed because we found that people are meeting a lot on WhatsApp groups and they just complain and complain and complain. And there is just nothing that happens to those complaints. So we then put in people in the media, people in government, people in business, people in all phases of life so that they are there. So that when those discussions are there, they are then picked up by those people and they start to make it to the agenda of boards of companies, boards of SOEs, even discussed at cabinet level, committees of political parties, and various platforms. So this broad pool of ideas is actually an influence platform, and Bob Mabena was a critical link of that broad pool of ideas with society, because he would time and again, and not always, but time and again, would pick up some of the discussions that were happening in the pool of ideas, and would just put them out for society to deal with them. And as we ask these questions, and society deals with them, and then that's how the pool of ideas was able to actually redirect a discussion and discourse on a whole lot of things. And Bob joined the broad pool of ideas as a result of what it was doing to society. Being a person of a thinking person that he was, Bob Mabena always wanted to associate himself with spaces that actually think about thinking and not just thinking. And that's why he answered to us, and he contributed a lot to the group. He gave us in the broad pool of ideas contributions that they are immeasurable. We can't even talk about the price of those, but just immeasurability, because he would then use his platform and his connections to make the foundation to grow as it has grown. And this afternoon at 2 o'clock, we have organized a team of people who are going to be paying tribute to him, and we have put in addition to the good that Power FM did, and I think I need to say Power FM did well yesterday, in addition to the good that Power FM did, we put people that could not be in that program yesterday, we put them into today's programs, including our members. We put in people like Imran Rapeti, who worked with Bob, Sandile Zungu, the president of the BBC, Sindima, the Lindela Mkizi, Bendi Kobe, George Manyosi, Ike Pasha, Hot Sticks Mabuze will also be speaking at this thing, and Koshi Maepa, who will be representing the community of Thami, because Koshi Maepa comes from Thami, and Koshi will be saying, this is how Thami has tried Bob. And then we'll be also having 360 CEO Kandani Msibi, who will also be talking about the investment community, how did the investment community relate with Bob Mabena. And this memorial service is happening now at 2 o'clock.
And where can one access this type of information? Because one cannot speak enough about Bob. There isn't enough that can be said about him. And you really seem to have managed to put together a diverse pool of individuals who, in their own right, had their own relationships with Bob. Where can one access this 2 p.m. session that's taking place, another memorial session?
A Zoom. We have a Zoom where people can just go into that, and maybe after this interview, I will just forward you the Zoom link, so that if people want to connect and be part of that, they can do that. But there's a Zoom link, because we thought if we make it virtual, we catch the person in Messina, in the same way as we touch a person in New York or a person in Berlin or a person in Beijing.
Well, absolutely amazing and intriguing organization, and I'm sure this afternoon at 2 p.m. Is going to be yet another opportunity for South Africans to celebrate the man that has meant so much to all of us. But thank you so much, Professor Lucky, for that. That's Professor Lucky Mathebula there, and he was also part of the BPI, the black pool, or rather the broad pool of ideas. I love what he says there, that Bob was a thinking man, and this is the type of organization where you also think about thinking, where captains of industry, whether they're in business, broadcasting and government, come together to discuss, deliberate and debate the heated topics of the day that would ultimately lead to transformation in the country. So that's a memorial service that's taking place at 2 p.m. today.